I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. I am Chanelle Jepson, and I am the Senior Director of Research and Product Development at Xyngular, and I love what I do. I am very passionate about what I do, especially I know we do have men in this business, but and I love men, but I'm very passionate about women's health. I have gone through my own health journey where I felt like doctor after doctor after doctor kind of brushed my symptoms aside, and I wasn't able to get the care that I deserved. And so I'm a huge advocate for women advocating for their own health and taking their own health in their own hands, and just really being able to live symptom-free and live the life that they want to live. So today I'm really excited to be covering Xyngular's brand new complete probiotic. It is dreamy little bottle filled with live microorganisms that make all the difference. And I'm going to talk through just kind of what the product does, a little bit about how it works, and why it's so important. Hold on one second, sorry. Forgot to shut the door. Okay, so we're gonna jump into what the product does. So what makes our product one different is the fact that we have 3 blends in there, and these are strains that provide a certain functionality. So diversity in strains equals diversity in benefits. You can expect more than gut health from this product, okay? We have a metabolic blend, we have a mood blend, and then we have a gut health blend. Your gut is the epicenter to all health. Hippocrates says that all disease begins in the gut. And so when we are having any sort of issues, the very first thing I tell people to look at is their gut health. Are you taking a probiotic? Are you digesting your food properly? Are you eating enough fiber? Are you eating foods that your body loves? Sometimes we have food intolerances. In fact, food intolerances are on the rise. You have lactose intolerance, which just means that you don't make enough lactase. But then some people are really sensitive to casein, which is in dairy products. And we have a lot more people who are intolerant to gluten or gluten allergies or celiac disease or any of these different things. We have so many digestive concerns right now that I always tell people, first place to start is the gut. And taking a quality probiotic is really important, but not just any probiotic. You want to make sure that you are getting strains that give you the benefit you're looking for. So the reason I chose mood and metabolic on top of gut health is because of the world we live in. The last couple of years have been really hard on the entire world emotionally. We are more stressed than ever before. And historically, our ancestors, when they got stressed out, it was because they were being chased by a tiger and they had to book it, right? So they got stressed and they were able to relieve some of that cortisol and they were able to run it off. We are stressed sitting at home. We are stressed at work in front of a computer. Heck, I'm even stressed out when I'm watching a horror movie, which I shouldn't do, but I love them. So here I am just sitting there, freaked out and causing stress hormones to pump, right? So we just stress and sit instead of stress and run. And that's causing so many issues on our digestive systems. And your digestive system and your gut is connected to everything. There is the gut-brain connection. There's the gut-skin. There is the gut-fertility connection, gut and hormones. In fact, if you have poor gut health, you can have estrogen dominance because you have these estrogen metabolites that aren't being digested properly. And so you have just excess estrogen pumping through your body. So all of these things are interconnected and it all leads back to one place, the gut. So a little bit about the gut is the human microbiome. The human microbiome, the majority of the bacteria of your body is in your gut. However, you also have bacteria all over your skin, all over every organ, it's everywhere, but primarily it is in the gut. And this human microbiome is responsible for so many amazing things, like all of this bacteria. You think of the human microbiome as an ecosystem of its own. You have some fungus, you have some yeast, you have bacteria, right? And they all live in this ecosystem together. And it is our responsibility on how that balance works. For instance, if you eat a very a diet that doesn't consist of very much variety, you aren't going to have very much variety in your microbiome. And we do find that, and I'm sure there's a lot of Canadians as well, but in the US, Canada is actually really similar to the US as far as like dietary consumption, and even Mexico is pretty similar as well now too, where we have limited, like a lot of our diet comes from potato or corn, or just not diversity, so we're not having a diverse microbiome. And so what adding a probiotic does is it helps like open up that diversity to our microbiome. That is really important. There was a twin study done that showed that you could have identical twins, and one was obese and one was of a normal weight. If you took the fecal matter of the obese twin and put it inside the healthy twin, that healthy twin would become obese. We are finding that certain bacteria extracts more calories from our food. There's some bacteria that helps us to feel satisfied, so that we're not that never-ending pit that can just, consume vast amounts of food. And so all of this is connected with your microbiome. And so by adding in certain bacteria, you can actually improve your metabolic health. Only 12% of Americans are even metabolically healthy. And I feel like there was a really strong spotlight put on that in the last couple of years, where we're finding the side effects of being metabolically unhealthy, that things that consist of metabolically unhealthy is going to be like type 2 diabetes, obesity, cholesterol, blood sugar, those type of things. And so many Americans are suffering through those things. So metabolic health is something I'm really passionate about, because it just leads to so many other things. So having a metabolic blend that can help your body with those is really important, with your heart health, with your metabolism. And that's just one part of it, right, is your metabolism. But one of the bacteria strains called Bifidobacterium breve, it reduced the circumference of people's waists. I believe there was 210 participants, and it was 8. I might have to add it to the comments later. I'm pretty sure it's 8.6, but don't quote me on it. But I will also put those percentages in the comment box after this. But it was able to help reduce that waist circumference, and that was versus a placebo. Okay, so that's just one strain out of the 11 strains we had in this product. I really wanted diversity in strains in order to get those diversity of benefits. And what's amazing is this is just such an upgrade product. So you have that metabolic blend. Now the mood blend. So your gut and your brain are connected by what's called your vagus nerve. But what happens up here impacts down here, and what happens down here impacts up there. They communicate with each other, and through that vagus nerve. And so one of the things we're finding is that when you're super stressed out, you might get a stomach ache, you might get stomach ulcers, right? Things might be happening. Or even when you're nervous, you know how you get butterflies in your stomach? It's because your gut is considered your second brain. It has all these neurons firing, and it has this thought process of its own, which is really amazing. And so by helping your gut, that can also improve your mental health. One of the studies is done on, it was Lactobacillus Plantarum DR7, was this improvement of that serotonin, which is a huge influence in your overall mood, and it helped to modulate your digestion. Serotonin is also responsible for helping things move through at the right pace. And so when somebody doesn't have enough serotonin, their body can't move food through at the proper rate. So serotonin is really important. So the product, it does not have serotonin in it. I know it gets confusing for some people, but so when you provide these bacteria, this bacteria will do these things. Okay, this bacteria will help with your mood. The bacteria will help with your metabolism, right? We don't have ingredients that do it for your body. We have bacteria that does it for your body. And that's how it was meant to be. And it's really cool because over the last roughly 10-15 years, microbial science has just blown up, where probiotics are being able to be used for all sorts of different things. And so we're like in the infancy of it, which is also cool because that helps us, this allows this product to be kind of at the beginning of where the human microbiome is going to go. And these strains are just so impactful on our health that I'm so excited for all of you guys to get it. I was able to start taking it as part of the beta group, and I started taking it the day I gave birth. People have asked me, would I have taken it before? And I personally would have definitely taken the probiotic before, but that just happens to be when I got it. So I started taking it then just to see how it could help me in that 4th trimester. If you don't know me, I had a baby 5 weeks ago. So I had my baby 5 weeks ago, so I've been taking the product for 5 weeks. And I will tell you that the mood part of it is so crucial for me, to be able to not just survive that 4th trimester, but to really thrive in it and be able to be at my best for my family, and then also to be able to launch the product and to be able to bring it out to the masses and educate you and have my like cognitive function just working at top speed. So that was one of the things. But then also that mood helped me to not reach for everything when I felt emotional. So I didn't like partake in emotional eating, which is huge. And that's going to help with your weight loss. It also helps this bacteria helps to produce satiety hormones, meaning you're going to feel satisfied. And that's also a huge part of weight loss. It's such, I don't know, I feel like weight loss is just so much in our heads, where if we feel deprived and that's all we're thinking about, that's what we want, or if we're having a rough day, we go through food because food also produces these feel-good hormones. But you can have those feel-good hormones produced by bacteria. And so just grabbing a capsule a day can help that so much. So those are a couple of things, just to wrap up what the product is. But it is not just probiotics. There are also what we call prebiotics. So that is the food that your probiotics eat. So we have an organic probiotic food blend in here. And think of it like a packed lunch. So you have all of these 20 billion, by the way, 20 billion. That's huge. That is a very substantial amount of probiotics. Just to compare it, say you go and get a kombucha that actually adds probiotics in it, which I'll talk a little bit about. So say they add 2 billion. 2 billion versus 20 billion, and those are what kombucha is like $5 a drink, versus 1 capsule a day, and it's 20 billion. So you would have to drink a lot of kombucha to equal 20 billion, which is insane to me. Although I do love kombucha, I do love the way it tastes. However, I know that I'm not getting my probiotic through that. You are getting live cultures. So the definition of a probiotic is it has to fit this criteria in order to be considered a probiotic. You have to have the amount, you have to know the strains, you have to know that those strains in those amounts confer a health benefit to the host. You and me, we're the host. We're hostess with the mostest. We are housing these bacteria. We're feeding them. We're being great party hosts because we included that probiotic food blend. But it has to confer a health benefit on the host. So that's the criteria of a probiotic. So a lot of people will ask me, well, what if I just eat sauerkraut or kimchi? Or what if I drink a kombucha? Or yogurt. So those can have live bacteria. However, if on it, you do not know what strains it has, you do not know what amount of those strains it has, it doesn't have a CFU on it, if it doesn't have those things, then it's considered a live culture and not a probiotic. And so that's a huge difference. There are some kombuchas where they do have the exact strains and the exact amount. And the reason that's why I'm saying 2 billion, because the one I buy actually has 2 billion. But most of them don't do that. So you don't know exactly what you're getting. Just taking any probiotic isn't going to be as impactful because you want a certain result. And if you're looking for a certain result, you have to choose a certain strain. So when we're looking at the bottle, we separated the strains into gut support, mood support, and metabolic support. So if you look at one of the strains, for instance, we have Lactobacillus Plantarum. We have a few different of those. One is KABP-022. I want you to think of Lactobacillus Plantarum as the last name, and then that last little bit, that KABP-22, say that's me. Say that's Chanelle, okay? So say me and my brother, if we have the same last name, that's our Lactobacillus Plantarum. But our first name is that KABP. So say I am 2'2" and he is 2'3". My brother is a surgeon, okay? I am not a surgeon. I am a food scientist. My brother is not a food scientist. He knows nothing about nutrition, but I would never operate on somebody. We have very different jobs. We are both considered scientists. We both have the same last name, but we have different roles and responsibilities. Every single strain in this product has a different role and responsibility to improve your health. We have this symbiotic relationship. We provide food for these strains, and then they do things in return. Some of the things that they do in return is they produce vitamin K, they can produce B vitamins, they can help with your immune system. In fact, 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. They are also going to help with serotonin modulation. Probiotics can do all of these things, and they all have these different jobs and these different roles that they're going to take on, and that's how it's going to benefit you. So we provide them food, and then they do all this amazing stuff for us. They're going to take this organic probiotic food blend, and they're going to produce what we call short chain fatty acids. One of the ones that in our research on these specific strains, a few of them produce butyrate. Butyrate is incredible for your inflammation response. So this is going to help with gut lining. So if you have intestinal hyperpermeability, also known as leaky gut, where your gastrointestinal tract, you think of it like your fingers. So things can go between my fingers, even when they're closed. Like if I was to pour water, water would probably seep through. That's kind of how your gut is. But we decide what comes in. So we're like, okay, I need B12, I need vitamin C, and your body's gonna pull that into your bloodstream, right? But if you have leaky gut, it goes like this. And then anything can kind of get through. And that's usually where food sensitivities are born. Seasonal allergies can be caused from that. All of those different things can be caused from intestinal hyperpermeability. And so one of the things with this bacteria, and especially in that gut support blend, is coming in and protecting this lining so that your body is able to repair it, I guess. And this bacteria is going to link arms, and they're going to protect that for you. And so that's how it can help with intestinal hyperpermeability, also known as leaky gut. That's most likely what you're going to see on the internet, but I like to say also the medical term, just so that you kind of know what we're talking about. So that probiotic food blend is really important. Also, making it organic was something that was important to me, was making sure it doesn't have any of those pesticides in there. Some pesticides, they kill bacteria, right? That's what they're supposed to do. And so we didn't want any of that in this product. We want to make sure that these probiotics are alive and that they arrive alive. These strains are all naturally acid resistant. And so I think of it like my phone is water resistant. I'm probably not going to go like deep ocean diving with it, but if I like drop it in my sink or whatever, it's fine. And so these strains, they're acid resistant. It is best to take your 1 capsule a day, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. That's great. And then right after, you can eat. The reason why you want to do it on an empty stomach is because right when you see food, it's actually really interesting, but it sends messages to your gut and to your stomach to start producing stomach acid. Okay, and so we want to have as little stomach acid, as little bile in there as possible, so that they have the highest chance of survival. They survive amazingly well, like 100% arrive alive if on an empty stomach. So that is going to be the best way. However, they are acid resistant. If you have them some other time of the day, they're still going to do amazing things for your health and amazing things for your body. So don't be hesitant if it's like 2 o'clock and you're like, oh, I forgot to take my probiotics. Just take them. Or if you ate breakfast, just take them. They are still going to do amazing things for your body, whether you take them on an empty stomach or not. Empty stomach is just ideal, but When have we ever been able to just do everything in the ideal way? Sometimes it's hard. Life happens, and that's okay. But because these strains are acid resistant, you can open up that capsule and add it to applesauce, add it to a smoothie, add it to your lean. You can add it to whatever you want. I probably would not add it to soup or coffee or something like that. But something cool, room temperature, totally fine. I probably wouldn't bake with it, but you'd still get benefits. So that is the complete probiotic. Every day, your microbiome can completely change in 3 days. So it will take, you could see benefits day one, first capsule, you might see your bloating go down. You might see an improvement in your bowel movements, right? You might see even mood. Metabolic will take a little bit longer for you to really see the results there. Maybe a few days. This is not a weight loss pill, okay? This is a probiotic, and these strains confer that health benefit of your metabolism, of your heart health, of those things. So if you're still like over consuming, they aren't going to eat all your food for you, okay? So you still want to like follow your programs, your protocols. But what this will do is, if you and I have different microbiomes and we are eating the exact same way, and say you have bacteria that extracts more calories, you are not going to have as good of results as I am because of our microbiomes. That's what we're battling here. We are providing your microbiome with what it needs in order to be metabolically healthy, to help with your weight goals. And that is how it can be like that secret sauce to your weight loss. If you have been sitting here and you've been hitting a plateau, and maybe this is what it took for your body, right? Like that identical twins, one's obese and one's at a healthy weight. And if they have the same diet, that obese twin is still going to gain more weight just because of their microbiome, even though they have the exact same genetics. And so that is really important. So this could be just that thing that just takes you back or takes you over that line that you haven't been able to cross. It helps you break through that plateau. So I'm really excited for you guys all to get your hands on it and to get your guts on it. Like I said this on stage when we launched the product, like I want to save the world one gut at a time. If you are sitting there and you have suffered through gastrointestinal issues, you know how debilitating it is. You know how it really, like there are so many studies showing how much our quality of life suffers if our gut suffers. And so just being able to help people is something I'm very passionate about. And that's like my calling in life. It's just to help everyone's guts everywhere. So I'm really excited for you guys to get this product. You want to take it every single day. Like I said, 3 days, that whole microbiome shift. But the reason why you want to take it every day is because these are alive. They're going to come in, they're going to eat their organic probiotic food blend. They're going to create these short chain fatty acids. They're going to improve your immune system, improve your metabolic health, improve your mood, and then they're going to die. And then you're going to poop them out. And then you're going to do it all over again. And all over again. And you want to make sure that you are constantly feeding that human microbiome every single day and having them, because they are very transient. Yes, it is colony forming, like it does create colonies, but the participants or the people living there, they do die of old age. And so you just want to constantly be refueling them every single day. So make sure you have this product on subscription so that you can just constantly be feeding that microbiome. A few different details that Crystal asked me to talk about were, let's see. So one of the things that make it different is these are human native strains, meaning that these are the strains that are native to the human body that we are supposed to have. But through antibiotic usage, cesarean births, maybe you couldn't breastfeed or you weren't breastfed, maybe you have medications or lots of pesticides. All of these different things can really mess up our microbiome and hurt that good to bad bacteria ratio. However, life happens, right? Every woman in my family has had a C-section except for me. And so now they know that their baby needs probiotics and that they need probiotics. And if you have to formula feed, totally fine. Just make sure your baby's taking probiotics, right? So like we know now we have this arsenal of tools because life happens, stuff happens, and that's totally fine. But now we are equipped that if you are on an antibiotic, now you know to take a lot of probiotics right after. Or if you're on medication that hurts your microbiome, making sure you take those probiotics. So we know all of these different instances now that just a simple probiotic can improve our health outcome dramatically. And so human native, sorry, I could talk for hours. Okay, human native just means that they are native to the human gut, and that is the best. That is going to be better than spores. That is going to be better than any plant ones because these ones are native to the human gut. And then another thing that makes it amazing is the fact that they are all naturally acid-resistant strains, helping them arrive alive. And so all of the scientific research, in fact, one of the strains has over, I believe, it's like 742 studies on one of our strains alone. It is one of the most researched strains. So all of this research is done on the strain without any sort of special capsule. You will see a lot of probiotics where they will say that they have a special capsule. That is not needed for this probiotic because every single one of the strains are acid resistant. That's why you can open it up and just put it onto your food. Another thing is the bottle is desiccant lined. That helps it to keep the humidity out. That is what makes the product so that you don't have to refrigerate it. Okay, people confuse the acid resistant with the refrigeration. They think, oh, if it has to be refrigerated or if it has to be in a special bottle, it's just going to die in your stomach acid. And that's actually not true. They are totally different things. What this helps it do is it keeps the bacteria dormant. So it's like in a sleep state. So it's not eating the probiotic food blend in there while it's in there. It's not duplicating, right? That colony, it's not creating a colony within the capsule. It keeps it dormant. So that when it goes into your body and it hits the alkalinity of your colon, that's actually when they are activated. Those strains are activated. So desiccant lined bottle makes it so that you do not have to refrigerate these. And then they're acid resistant, so they survive your stomach acid. Okay, so those are a couple of different things. The fact that it is also what we call synbiotic. It's syn with an N, so it looks a lot like symbiotic, but it's synbiotic. Synbiotic just means a probiotic and a prebiotic in one. That is what this is. So it is a synbiotic. Yeah, and the fact that we actually have metabolic benefits is huge. The fact that we have mood benefits. People call them psychobiotics because of their improvement on mood. I just want to make sure. Okay, we're changing the kits. Okay, so the kits that these come in, we are changing the kits to include this because it is so much more impactful on our health and making sure that you guys are getting the benefits. The probiotics, that was weird. The Pixie that we have, it just has 2 strains and 3 billion. We really wanted to give this product an upgrade and a facelift, if you will. I've been seeing yours as Facelift Fridays. I love them. But we wanted to give this that facelift, okay, to make it a really impressive formulation that can compete with what you're seeing out there, but also because we know you. I've seen your site, I've seen your guys' surveys, I have seen your guys' internet. I'm following tons of you guys online. We're friends on Facebook. I see some of the things that you guys are going through, and this is going to be the best blend for you. Helping to improve that mood, that metabolism is huge, and we wanted to give you that secret sauce that we know about with the human microbiome that other companies don't know, that haven't tapped into. They're just tapping into gut health and just strains that maybe help with gas or diarrhea, but this is way more than that. And so I'm super excited for you guys to get it. All right, price kits are not, the price of the kits are not going up, at least except for the Digestive Duo. The Digestive Duo, which is the complete probiotic and the collagen, that I believe is going up $3, which is, I mean, for this, you guys, she's worth way more than this. I hate even putting a price tag on her. But the other kits, we were able to absorb the price. I think that's really it for house items, hopefully. But I am just so excited for you guys to get your hands on it, get your guts on it. Make sure you order it. Make sure you have it on subscription. Let's make poop sexy. or like fun to talk about, because women, sometimes it feels uncomfortable to talk about our bowel movements, or maybe it feels uncomfortable to be like, I'm gassed or I'm bloated, or I have to pop open my button after I eat because I get so bloated, and I have food sensitivities, and my mood has been really suffering, or I just can't deal with everyday life stresses. This helps improve that. And so being able to talk about those things, we got to normalize it, because the more we know, the better we can do. And so just making these conversations normal can really help a lot. There was a study done showing about women, and kind of the outcome of it was that women were not getting their gastrointestinal diseases handled by their doctor because they were too embarrassed to tell their doctors. And I hate that. I want us to be able to feel comfortable. This is normal stuff, and let's talk about it so that we can fix it. Because we can fix it. We have the tool here. We get to fix it, which I'm really excited about. Thank you guys so much. I will try to go in, and it's really too hard with all the comments to go in and answer questions live, but I will try to go in and answer the questions. I hope that answered most of them for you. Oh, the product is vegan. We do not culture anything in dairy, so it is dairy free, it is vegan. The capsule is really clean. It is a veggie cap. In fact, it has, the silica is even bamboo silica, it's hypermellose. L-leucine is one of them, which is an amino acid. So the capsule is also really clean, so that you can feel confident taking that, and it is approved for vegans. So if you are vegan, then this is the one for you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for having me on here. I love your guts.